Hello, good morning. Um, Here we are. It's the second mindset challenge this week. For this week. Last week we had the first. Last week we had the first success mindset video challenge. We had a lovely lady here, which I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, and she completed it successfully. Today I've got a lovely Chantel here. Hi Chantel, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm really good, thank you. How are
You're
you?
great. Um, so I'm going to introduce myself first, and then I'll talk a little bit about what this challenge is about, why it's been created, why I created it, and then we can start learning more about you, because it's all about you today. Um, so my name is Zuzana Taylor. I'm a transformational business coach. This month I'm talking about success mindset, all about success mindset, it's all across my social media channels. And because I believe that uh, mindset plays a huge part for business owners, and therefore I created this challenge, which is Success Mindset Challenge, video challenge, for women in my community, Facebook community, to help them overcome their fears and step into their inner powers and show what's in them, to make that first step, maybe second for some, or third, to start doing videos, because we all know how videos are important for our businesses. So this is what I decided to do, and support this lovely community. Um, I've got So last week I done my first recording for this challenge, and we had lovely Andrea, who was talking about her business, and it was her very first video that she's done for her business. And before the video, she said she has some limiting beliefs that are holding her back from doing the live videos. She did the challenge. We did the video. You can see it. It's all on my Facebook page. You can find it. If anyone wants it, I can post it again in the comments below this video. Let me know. And she actually, after the video, she really enjoyed doing it, and she was so natural. She was so good doing it, and she said she's going to continue doing it for her business. And she even said, watch out for my new YouTube channel, which was like, wow, amazing shift in her mindset. And she said she actually enjoyed it. So this is what it's all about. And so I've got Chantel today. Hi, Chantel. Hi. Have you done any videos before for your business?
I have, yeah. I've done a few little sort of 2 or 3 minute videos, pre-recorded. I haven't quite got the nerves up to do a live video. And yeah, I would like to do more. It's definitely something that I think is valuable. And when you're the face of your brand, your company, then any way that you can get yourself out there and people understand a bit more about who you are and what you do, I think is a good thing for your business. So that's why I'm here today.
Yeah, well done. Well done. I'm happy you've taken up on this challenge, and you want to continue doing that. Um, I You are a mom as well as a business owner. It's called Crossfield VA,
Yeah.
and so you are a virtual assistant, and you are a mom of a 2-year-old, 2.5. Is she 2.5-year-old girl?
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, and I've also done a little bit of research about you. I know
Okay.
you practice yoga,
I do,
and
yes.
and and you feel like in another life you would have loved to be a teacher. Tell us a little bit more about that. Is it a yoga
Yeah.
teacher or?
Oh yeah, I mean that would be the dream. So my mum always did yoga, so from quite an early age, yoga was part of my life,
Hmm.
and I really kind of got into it when I was at university, and so I've been practicing for over 20 years. It's not to say I'm very good, but I do absolutely love it. I went to a yoga ashram a few years ago when I was traveling in India and absolutely fell in love with the whole kind of clean living practice of yoga daily, and just how it kind of clears your mind. And yeah, I would really love to think that maybe at some point in the future I would train to be a yoga teacher, but right now it doesn't feel like it's quite the right thing for me.
Yeah, but I'm sure, and maybe you can tell me more because I practice yoga myself, and it's helping you in your everyday life and in business as well. So
Definitely,
it is, isn't it?
definitely.
Yeah.
I find that if I'm having quite a full-on stressful day, if I can get to a 1 hour yoga class, it just helps me reset. As soon as I get on the mat, I stop thinking about anything else, and I'm just like one of the very few times that I'm actually there in a moment, which doesn't
Yeah.
happen very often in our crazy world. So yeah, I find it really helpful.
That's what we need, isn't it? That's what we need because we are surrounded by all this technology, all everything is happening, in very fast pace, and this is what we need to do. If we can, maybe even just 10 minutes, doesn't have to
Yeah.
be a full-on class. For some people, could be just breathing or just a simple poses, few yoga poses. That is good to start with, or sometimes it's just a little bit that we need to reset, like you say.
Yeah. And the breathing is so important. You don't realize how you don't breathe properly until you're
Yeah,
actually concentrating on it. And then you start to feel the benefits of really slowing down and taking proper, deep, soothing breath. So yeah,
absolutely.
it's important.
Especially in challenging situations like maybe this one is, breathing is important. When we're facing something challenging, or we want to step up into something new, it's very important, to connect with ourselves and to do the breathing. Sometimes just the breathing is what needs to be done, and then we go. Lovely. So what is your, tell us a little bit more about your business. How did you start? Why did you start? How long you've been doing it for? We love stories about business, so
Okay, so I run Crossfield VA. The VA stands for Virtual Assistant. I set it up just 6 months ago, actually. So I haven't been going very long.
yeah,
But prior to that, I worked for a design agency in central London, and I had many different roles there. I was there for 13 years. I started off as a receptionist, and when I left last year, I was the executive assistant to the creative and managing directors. I ran a team, so I had 3 or 4 people in my team, and we provided admin support for the studio. And I was also the office manager, so looking after everything from sort of health and safety, facilities, just making sure the studio was running. And so over the years, I gained a lot of really great experience, um, and learned a lot about being organised and kind of thinking one step ahead. And after I had my daughter, I went back and I just felt like I needed a slightly different challenge. I wanted to spend more time with her, but I also knew that I definitely didn't want to stop working. And so Crossfield VA was born out of that desire, really. And I sort of thought about what I would really like to do and decided I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. I'm good at I feel like I'm good at what I do. And I'd heard a little bit about virtual assistants and the kind of support that they give. So I work with small businesses who are drowning under to-do lists. So I help them identify areas where they can outsource work, or I take things off their plate that they don't really enjoy doing, that's not necessarily sparking joy for them, or making them money. So quite a lot when you start a new business, you end up being everything. You end up being the accountant, the marketing person, the PR person, the new business person. And I think it's quite easy to lose sight of why you started your business in the first place. Like what passion you had can sometimes disappear when you're bogged down with the day-to-day running of a business.
Yeah, that's true, actually. That's very true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you work with small businesses. Is it any particular group, or do you who are your clients? Who is it for?
So, I mean, my background is working with creative people, but I think all businesses have an element of creativity behind them. So
Yeah.
I haven't really kind of gone down that niche. At the moment, I work with a dog trainer, so I help him kind of run his business by helping him with his invoicing, and I'm helping to organise a lecture event where he's going to be speaking at, and by taking those things off his plate, it's given him a bit of headspace to think about where he wants to move his business and what he wants to do next. I also work with other virtual assistants, so I support them if they've got a lot of work on their plates. They kind of come to me and ask for some support. So I've done some research projects. I'm working with a client at the moment where they need a lot of diary support, so booking meetings. They're global, so there's lots of time zones to think about, lots of travel, even though at the moment travel's a bit bit dodgy. So I work with anyone really that just needs a bit of extra help, and I would sit with them and just find out where in their business they could do with offloading some stuff.
It seems like you are our business is basically we need a powerhouse, and you are the support behind the scenes, everything what's going on behind the scenes that people sometimes don't see or don't really acknowledge that it's there. And like you said, it's a lot to do in the business. There is admin, there is things like you said, to marketing and all that needs to happen in order for the business to grow. I mean, for startups, if there are startups, or for startups is different because there is a financial limitation, and that so the women are doing everything by themselves, but sometimes it comes to the point where it's like, okay, need to think about investing into something for the business and for us to grow. That's why people probably, I think, need to make connection, need to reach out to get that help, and that can be a hard decision to do sometimes, but in order to grow, I think it's very, very important. And so you are a very, very important part of businesses, of growth for businesses.
And as you say, it is an important decision for people to make, because quite often people see their business as their baby and they want to have control over all elements of it. But actually, if you want to be able to grow, you do need to let go of some stuff, and that's where a virtual assistant can step in and help and support you through that.
Yeah, amazing. What is the process like? Is there do you set up a meeting with them and talk about? Can you explain to us? Talk about what?
Yeah, so I think it's really important that you get to meet so that you can get a feel for how each other works. So I would probably suggest a Zoom call, or if we're close by, I'm more than happy to come and meet people for coffee. I think it's good to have that kind of face-to-face interaction. We chat a bit about the business and the kind of pinch points that you're facing. Sometimes people don't actually know what they could outsource. So just having a chat about it might help people get it clear in their heads. And then I would go away and I'd put a proposal together and suggest ways that we could lighten the load, things that I could be doing, and I would suggest the amount of time I think that would be needed. And then we would just take it from there. And I think it's good to have a trial run, so nothing is set in stone, and it's a good opportunity to talk about if you want to do things slightly differently, or if you need a bit more support, or as you're doing it you might realise actually there's all these other things that you could be doing, or you realise that what you've outsourced is actually something that you're quite passionate about and you want to take that back. So it's all just a learning process. It's definitely a two-way conversation, and it's about building relationships, because without that you can't really work well together.
Absolutely. And like you said, nothing is set stone. You know, it depends what the need is from the client, and also whether there is a match, and so on. So there's no need to be holding back again, or be scared to to reach out to someone like you and see that possibility, and see where it could take us. So
Yeah.
that's amazing. I love that, because I think connections and are very very important for businesses. You've had a quite strong and insight from your background for what you were doing about business. So you saw it from the other side, and then you decided you decided to start your own business. You've been in your business for 6 months. What was the hardest thing when you started for you? What is the hardest thing, because you suddenly became on your own from a big team of people? What was the hardest thing for you?
I think the hardest thing for me was trusting that I was doing things right. I mean, like I said earlier, all of a sudden you're wearing 5 different hats, and where if you're part of a company, then there's different departments that you can go to for that help and that advice, or they just do that anyway. So for me, it was just trying to get my head around the whole challenge of running a business. And I'm a bit of a perfectionist as well, and I think it's you can end up holding yourself back a bit, because you keep thinking, well, I'm not quite ready, I haven't got this in place, I haven't got that in place. And I think what you do is you learn as you go, and you shouldn't so I think if I was to give myself advice 6 months ago, I'd just say, just go for it, just see what happens and learn as you go, and don't worry too much about having everything as you feel it should be set up, ready to go. And one of the great things that I've found is talking to people. It's really amazing the responses that you can get from just reaching out. So I've pushed myself to go to lots of networking events, and I can only say positive things about them. I've met some amazing people, yourself included. I've had some really insightful chats. I've shared ideas. I've had new ideas, and I just think it's so important to get out there. I enjoy my own company, but I know that there is so much value in having people to interact with, and I think that is one of the things that people transitioning from being in a kind of paid employment to being self-employed find difficult. There's loads of groups on Facebook that you can join, and there's local networking events that you can go to, and just even speaking to friends and family. I think that's really important as well. Otherwise you spend day after day after day in your own head, and that's not always the best place to be.
Absolutely, yeah, you need that. Yes, you need that support, and sometimes just a little chat to somebody else, and whether you get support from family or your partner, or when you go to networking meetings, someone who is in your shoes, who is going through the same thing, or gone through the same thing. I mean, business, having your own business is a journey. You know, there's always something that we're learning and improving, and it's a journey. There is no start or end. So people have done it, people are going through, and it's nice to hear that. Even that alone, it's very reassuring that yes, this is how it is, isn't it? Do you agree? This is how it is. This is so you feel, you come out after speaking to someone like that empowered and like, yes, it makes sense. I'm carrying on doing it.
Yeah, and that's like, it's so it's so good for your mindset to just have that chance to air how you're feeling, and know that it's quite normal, and that everyone else at some point feels like you might be feeling, and it passes. Like you say, it's a journey, so it changes all the time. But yeah, it's definitely been I've learned so much over the last 6 months. It's been incredible, and yeah, I would encourage anyone who's thinking about starting a business to just give it a go. You only get one life. Give it a go. What's the worst that can happen?
Exactly. Like my guest last week, Andrea, she said, just jump in the pool and swim. You've got nothing else, you know. What else can you do? Just swim. Jump in and swim. Exactly. You know, do it. Whatever it takes, do it. If you are very passionate about something and you're thinking of starting, do it. You will figure out the ways how to do it and which way to go.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's the way. Well, it's been lovely talking to you. Do you have one piece of advice that you would give to women out there that are starting up or are at the beginning of their journey, that you have learned from your experience? I know we've heard lots of valuable tips and things from you, but one thing that you would give them, what would that be?
Well, like I said earlier, get out there and network, meet people.
Network, yeah.
But I think also just, and this is probably going to sound a bit cheesy, but believe in yourself, believe that you can do it. If you've got a good idea, or you've got a great set of skills, you know, just give it a try and see what happens. And when you approach things with that mindset, anything can happen.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I wish that I'd maybe taken this leap a bit earlier. I spent so much time thinking, oh, that's definitely not something I can do. And now I'm 6 months down the line, and I'm able to reflect and think, well, maybe it was something that I could have done a little while ago. But anyway,
yeah,
I'm here now. I'm giving it a go now, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm meeting some great people, and I'm working with some really interesting people, and I'm getting to spend more time with my daughter, and I'm still feeling challenged. So I'm kind of ticking all the boxes that I was looking for. So give it a go. If you've got an idea, give it a go.
Well done. That's what we want to hear. I agree absolutely, and I've got nothing else to add because you said it all. So yeah, well, that's all we've got time for today. Did you enjoy this video?
I did, yeah. It's nice talking to someone rather than talking to a phone.
Well, I'm sure we can think of something to do in the future, and I'm sure we will. But in the meantime, keep on doing it. You've been amazing, and you've got so much to offer. So hopefully we will see more of you, more of you
Yeah.
on online. For anyone who wants to connect with Andrea, wants to ask her questions about whatever, whether about her experience or her business, anything, you can connect with her on Facebook. You're on Facebook, Andrea? Oh, sorry, Chantel. Sorry, Chantel. You can connect with her on Facebook or Instagram, and yeah, just go ahead and speak to her. I've got also Facebook page. I've got a group as well, which is called Your Business Mom Journey. If you would like, please join. Also, I've got an exciting thing coming up this month, which is an ebook that I've created, and I'm gonna launching it soon. It's about mindset. So yeah, can't wait for people to receive it and to start developing their mindset, success mindset. And Chantal, do you have anything that you have prepared, or anything that's going on new, or yeah, in your business?
Well, just to say that I do offer free discovery calls or face-to-faces, just to talk through any business needs, support business needs that you might have. And I also do have some time available for support. So if you think that you might need a virtual assistant in your life, give me a call or drop me an email and we'll have a chat.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me, Chantal, today. It's been lovely having you, talking to you. And we have got next video coming up next week again. So keep an eye on that. Thank you very much, and thank you for watching, and have a good day. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.